All right. So this week and last week, I had told everybody that this week would be the first week for new allocations. I was wrong. So never can figure it out.
Yeah.
So this was, although we are it'll be the 11th of this month. New allocations for May will not start up until next month, or next week, I should say. That will be the 18th. So this is still cleanup. So any dealers that have allocations, which we do have a couple on a couple models, but it looks like some of them will get carried over to next month. So let's start talking about let's just go through these. So 24 Mustang, do not plan to schedule this week. We do have 4 allocations. Looks like it's going to roll over to next month, um, which is usually what happens there. Of course, for those of you that are hoping to get scheduled next week, here are some things for you to think about. They're not going to be built. They're not going to be scheduling dark horse yet, or convertibles, and anything with a black painted roof. So that would be your night pony package, right? And then also on your dark horse isn't scheduling, but all right. And then also if you have a 100A EcoBoost, it won't be scheduling either right now. This could change next week, but something to keep in mind on some of these things that could roll. Usually are the same week after week. And then, of course, right now too, still just like last week, all 101As and above must select a package or trim level that includes the leather wrapped steering or center console. So that is already standard on an EcoBoost 201A and a GT 401A, and also is already included in the performance package. So. And then it says, do not remove the 2.3 performance package from the 101A orders selected for dealers. So some dealers are getting some of those because they're having an issue with that. So, all right, moving on. And then actually, you know what? Ford did something really cool that actually came out today for dealers. I can't really share what it looks like. You might have seen it right there. But it actually had a list of unscheduled orders with key commodities, and then even gave us all of the orders that have those on there, which is really cool. So as we go through these models, I'm going to kind of look at this and see if there's any other restrictions in there. Let's see. Mustang, we kind of already covered most of those. In fact, they don't list 24 Mustang. Okay, moving on. The 23 Escape, they do plan to schedule through the week of June 26th. We do have 4 allocations left for Escape. So if you have an Escape with us, we could get yours scheduled. Base and hybrid order retail only, and of course we know the order banks are closed for the plug-in hybrid. And then on here, the capacity on that plug-in hybrid is 11% for the Escape. Hybrid is 8%. Gas is 81%. So there you go for that. And then 23 Bronco Sport cleanup scheduling, which again means if a dealer has allocations, like we don't have any, so we wouldn't have any scheduled. But if a dealer has some allocations left that have not gotten scheduled yet, then they could get scheduled this week on Bronco Sport. See, moonroof capacity is full. So if you have an order with a moonroof, it won't get scheduled this week because they are already full on their capacity through the week that they're scheduling for. So that's something to keep in mind if you want your scheduled this week, or just hold out for next week. In capacity for this, Badlands is being capacity is 17% right now, but we do know that next month it's going to go up to 25% for the month. Big Ben's 37%. Well, that's a Big Ben with a convenience package, I should say, is 37%. Badlands with a premium package is 8%. Heritage with a convenience package is 10%. Outer Banks with a tech package is 16%. So those are the optional packages. Black Diamond off-road package is 8%, which again we put in an order for that one. Hopefully we get that one scheduled soon or next week. The Ford Copilot 360 Assist Plus package, 34%, which is actually pretty good. So if you have that on there, Power Moonroof 27%, except for this week we talked about that. The tow package is 37%. The cargo management system is 26%, and the painted roof is 25%, which is optional now on the Outer Banks and the Badlands. It is not standard equipment anymore. All right. Moving on to the Edge. 23 Edge is not scheduling this week. 24 order banks are going to open up soon. Can't really give you a date. Got trouble for that. Job 1 should be in July sometime. All right. And let's see. On Edge, I'm not going to go through Edge constraints because I think they're pretty much done with the Edge for 23, and we'll be ordering 24s real soon, and they'll start scheduling for those.
Yeah.
All right. 23 Bronco does say scheduling for job 1, balance out orders through 6/26. Or if a dealer has any allocations, which we don't, but some dealers might, you could get your scheduled to fulfill the rest of through 2020 June 26th. So they'll consider job 2 will be in July, the week of July, first week of July. But it doesn't look like at this point, I don't see any changes yet. I haven't seen a new updated order guide for any job 2 changes. It just means they're going to start job 2 production. So some models, sometimes they need to do that, but not with the Bronco, evidently at this point. Don't forget, base Everglades manual transmission, Badlands with optional wheel are all balanced out. Means you can't order them. Also, cloth seats with Outer Banks and the Wild Track, you cannot do. Now, let's talk about capacities on the Bronco. So, I tend to like talking about the Bronco. There are a lot of people waiting on there. There's about 23,000 orders in the order bank for the Bronco right now. Not too bad in numbers. Order banks are still open up for those. Sure.
Sounded bad. Okay.
Dead air or Tim waving fly off a few weeks ago. Oh, no.
That was a while back. Okay.
Okay. All right.
See, this is why I don't go back and read comments, because then it doesn't pertain to what we're talking about.
All right. So yes. So capacity on the Bronco on some of these. So they actually listed out in here. Yes. So 2 doors. So we're going to talk about this later. 2 doors, 17%. That's all I'm going to say at this point, because we're going to talk about it when we get to the things on my mind. That's why I get on my soapbox. We'll talk a little bit about that. Soft tops, 33%. Hard tops, 67%. Of course, no manual transmission. 2.7 liter EcoBoost is at 65%. There's a 2.3 is 35%. See, those have actually swapped since last year. Advanced 4x4 is 64%. That'd be Sasquatch / Badlands. Could also be an advanced 4x4. The front locker, 64%. Sasquatch is 40%. Lux package is 40%. The modular front bumper is 36%. Brush guard is 15%. Trailer tow is 55%. And there's only like 33% of the orders that have it on there. So feel free to put that tow package on there. It will not affect yours from getting scheduled probably. Paint protection, can I just say just leave it off? If you have it on there, then you're just asking yourself not to get scheduled. So you're just like, I want to wait as long as possible. So leave that off your order completely. Can't say that enough, but we'll talk more about this in just a little bit. But so that's what they currently are for this week, and we do have a list of orders that have those different constraints on there. We'll talk more about that. All right, moving on to Explorer. No scheduling this week for Explorer, so we do have 1 Explorer order or allocation available, but it won't get scheduled. Explorer for those, next week, moonroof is the capacity is 45%. Hybrid is down to 2%. So, wow, that's pretty low. Expedition. They are scheduling this week, cleanup scheduling. We don't have any allocations for us, but if a dealer does, then there you go. And 24 model year order bank, June-ish sometime, late June-ish. Job 1, August sometime probably. So, all right. And don't forget, they are not scheduling any orders with the prep package, for the tow prep package. You have to have the heavy duty trailer tow package on the 302A, 303, 304, 501A, 400A. So if you're not sure, look at your order. It'll tell you what equipment group you have there. So keep in mind of that. And order banks are closed for 23 Expedition. All right. And then any other constraints on Expedition? Dual exhaust is at 6.7%. Wow, they got down to the 0.7. The max length is 50%. So 50-50 between max length and the regular length, which is good because there for a while, max was a major issue. Mahogany interior, it's available on the 301A, 7%. So very low. So if you have mahogany interior, good luck. All right. The 23 Maverick cleanup scheduling. Again, if a dealer has allocations, yours could get selected. If you have an order with McArthur, they've already been used, so we don't have any. But they will be scheduling through the week of June 26th. All right, let's go through those constraints. This is like wide because it's a lot. All right, hybrid, 50% between hybrid. That's funny. I didn't update the gas. 50% hybrid, 65% gas. So sorry, I had to poke a little fun at Ford there, but so you need to, always check your grammar, always check your numbers. All right, so 50-50 between hybrid and gas there. XL 100A is at 15%. XLT luxury package 30%. That was at 35%, so that's dropped a little bit. Lariat luxury package is at 25%. Trimmers at 8%. Trimmer appearance package is at 3%. The trimmer appearance package. So if you have the trimmer with appearance, it's 3%. The black appearance package is 10%. So there you go. The Copilot 360 is at 60%. The Copilot 360 Assist package that requires the Lariat luxury package is 25%. That's where you get the adaptive cruise, folks. So if you want the adaptive cruise, you've got to have that on your Lariat luxury. Soft tonneau cover 15%. Hard tonneau 4%. Hard roll up 3%. Take off your bed covers. I'm telling you, that will hold up your builds. Bed extender 2%. Again, same issue there. Bed tray liner 1%. Spray and bed liner 39%. Hard drop-in liners 25%. So it's even lower than that. The tie down rails with the brackets is 40%. The protective film, just take it off. It's at 3%. Moonroof is on here, which hasn't been before, 38%. So that might have been why that one order was a little overlooked, because it's at 38%. So that means they're going to be looking for some without moonroof, right? The trailer hitch is 45%. So that's lower than it was. It was 65 for a while. So now it's 45. So basically it's going to be difficult. Not saying it's impossible. If you probably have an XL with a hitch, you're probably more likely to get it than if you have like an XLT or a Lariat with a hitch, because they're probably going to be looking for those packages to use those hitches in. Splash guards, again, take those off, please. We had somebody that had it on. I think they're going to remove it. So hopefully they get scheduled. And they were a carryover order.
They were a
and still
carryover,
haven't
and they're
scheduled.
like, what is going on? My dealer won't tell me anything. So I was like, send me your order sheet, which they didn't have the order sheet. They had a bill of sale or whatever instead. And I was like, how do they have a VIN if your vehicle's not scheduled yet? And they're like, well, I guess I don't have one. So then they got it. They're priority 10. I'm like, that's good. Your retail, you're good. Looks like you're good to go, except you have splash guards. That's probably what's been keeping you held up this entire time.
Yep, believe it or not. And they were, like I said, they were carryover order where hopefully the dealer was prioritizing the order. But still, we had a couple that got overlooked. And they were the last two, and I'm like, one of them had splash guards. Mm-hmm. So we took it off. The next month, it got scheduled. So
something you can always add after.
Yep. All right. The 23 Ranger, no scheduling. They should be balanced out, I believe. So they will finish production June 26th. Not sure if I should say that date. But 24 order banks, check tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We're going to get all the details at 2 p.m. tomorrow on the 24 scheduling order banks, when those dates are going to be. We should be able to share that with you tomorrow. I have a date here, probably the date they tell us tomorrow, but I won't say anything until we get that information. So otherwise, 23 is balanced out. So really looking forward to 24. Yes, I'm excited about 24 Ranger. So yeah. So all right. 23 F-150. I don't need to talk about capacity on Ranger because it's balanced out. So, all right. 23 F-150. Cleanup scheduling. Again, they are scheduling for the weeks of 5/29 and the week of 6/5. Right now, we're out of regular gas allocations. We have some lightning allocations left, but I don't think they're scheduling for lightnings right now. Limited scheduling on moonroofs. Limited scheduling on power tailgates. Doesn't mean they're not scheduling. When I say limited, that means a small amount. It means that they don't have a lot of basically the parts. They don't have a lot of parts available to build too many of those. So when they say limited, that's what I mean. No additional tremors. and they're talking 401 or 402 right now. So trimmers are very basically they're done with trimmers, or they can't do them right now, as well as heritage packages. So you can't schedule those. No 20-inch all-terrain tires. That's the T24 option code. No STX appearance packages or STX black appearance packages. No 18-inch chrome wheel package. That's 64T. No 17-inch all-season tire on the base XL two-wheel drive. So recommendation is if you have an F-150 order out there with like the chrome package, go to the 20-inch wheels. That would help. Or go to the sport appearance package 18s. So that would be the two options I would say to go with if you're wanting to get yours scheduled. So if yours isn't scheduling, that would probably be why there. Let's see. F-150 constraints. See if there's anything else. It says constraints. It just says Lightning, Raptor, Tremor, 3%. Doesn't have a number for Raptor and Lightning, so just constraint. Anyway, Lariat Black Appearance Package is 3%. Platinum Black Appearance Package is 1%. XLT Black Appearance Package 5%. STX Black Appearance Package is 1%. So you can see why they're saying 0 for that. Soft folding tonneau cover is 3%. Retractable cover is 3%. And the hard folding is 5%. Again, tonneau covers, take off your order. So get it later. And I know Ford hates when I talk about that and say that because they want to sell the DIOs, which is dealer installed options, but
they can
Ford's not
sell later.
Yeah, Ford's not the one that, I mean, you're the one that gets your order. We're the ones that want to sell it to you. And I'm just telling you, between you wanting to get your order and your dealer wanting to sell it to you, this is what it'll take for you to get your orders. It's up to you what you want to do. Ford doesn't care. They're selling vehicles right and left, whether you put them on there or not. They may not care. I mean, Ford cares about their customers, but they also, are trying to sell these, and it will schedule some. Again, there's a percentage. It doesn't say 0, so it's just whether or not yours is one of them. So,
quick thing about the Q&A, put them in the chat with @Sarah Davis, and then I'll pin them. We are doing it a new way. Someone did ask about the Q&A box. We are not doing that anymore. So just drop them into the chat, and I'll be able to pull them aside for later.
Yep, and we'll be able to see the ones because we're on Facebook as well, so we'll be able to see the Facebook questions too this way. So, right.
Yep.
So, all right. Haven't too many from Facebook? Having them both come in?
Yes.
Some?
As far as I
There you go. Yeah. Pretty cool. All right. Okay. First time doing both. So, all right. 23 Super Duty. So they're doing some scheduling, but they say 0 Pro Trailer Backup Assist and 50% the 6.8 engine. So if you have the 6.8 liter gas engine, it's a 50-50 scheduling for that. So limited scheduling on the King Ranch and Platinum, exhausted availability on limited for this week. So interesting. They encourage don't forget that the upfit integration system removal. I want to encourage you to take care of that. Also, exhausted availability on the 7.3 liter engine. Limited scheduling for the split bed seats. Exhausted availability on the work surface and exhausted availability on the Pro Trailer Backup Assist. When they say exhausted availability, that means for this week only. So that means if you have an order with that on there, they won't be able to schedule anything that says exhausted availability. It means they don't have the parts available to build it for the production week that they're scheduling for. So I hope that makes some sense there. And then looking at that, Super Duty restrictions, trimmer package is 10%. And when we give you these percentages, that means that that's the percentage that they can build at. So out of 100% of the orders, 10% of them can be, in this case, Tremor. 29% can be diesel engine. So of all the different engines, 29% can be the 6.7 diesel, 10% the 6.7 high output diesel, and 7.3 liter, and the 7.3 liter gas is 19%, which means there's one engine left, right? And that's going to account for the rest, which is a 50%. And I think the capacity they're talking about on here is for the month. Anyway, the 12-inch productivity screens, 36%. So you can see there with 36%, and 12-inch productivity screen is layered and above, which means that's why they're scheduling a lot of XL, XLTs is because they have the smaller screens. The tonneau cover, 1%. Again, take your tonneau covers off. There you go. The 19.5-inch wheel or tire is 2%, and that's usually what you see on the dualies. The Vista roof is at 20%. So if you have, a roof on yours and you're like, why am I not scheduling? That might be why.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, it's standard, so you can't do much about that. Spray and bed liners, 20%. So that means 80% of orders will be selected because they don't have a bed liner in there. So if you have a spray and liner in your order, take it off. That could help your order get scheduled. I have a lot of people I understand why mine's not scheduling, this and that. Do you have a spray and liner? Do you have the Vista roof? Do you have even the running boards? One of our aftermarket manager kind of laughed and said, all these are coming in without running boards. It's like, that's because we took them off so they could get scheduled. So 11% is the capacity on the platform running boards. The fifth wheel gooseneck prep package is 26%. The cabin chassis is 5%. So if you have one of those, and then 0% for the trailer backup assist. So you got to see that feature. That's a pretty cool feature too.
It is.
All right. So moving on, Transit Connect. They are scheduling for the weeks of 6/5 and 6/12 for the van and wagon. 23 Transits. They're scheduling for the week of 6/26. A lot of constraints on that one. The high roof scheduling at 35%, medium roof at 35%, the low roof is at 30%. So 3.5 liter EcoBoost for the van or bus is 21%. The heavy duty cargo flooring is 3%. The chrome HID headlights is 8%. The digital camera, the high res with the 12-inch screen is 12%. 360 cameras 12%. The crew van 0. Power running board is 0. The barn doors is 0. And the 10300 GVWR, except for the bus, is 0. So same, really hasn't changed. Nothing's changed there on the Transit overall this time. But they're getting to where they need to finish out Transit orders. 23 Mach-E, no scheduling this week. They are trying to wrap up for the job 1. Because build out is June 26th. Then they're going to be moving to the new, which we kind of I did a video on that, 23.5 model year job 2. Order banks will already opened up on May 3rd. You can put those orders in. There's some changes there. Don't forget the new battery, which has more range, charges faster. You can charge up to 100% at home more often, and is less susceptible to the cold. That new battery on the standard range is going to be available coming up. So, and it's cheaper. It's $3,000 cheaper for those as well. So anyway, we do have a couple allocations left, but they won't schedule this week. All right. That's all that. I know that's a lot of it, but for those of you who have orders, hopefully it did help you out, give you some insight if you have an unscheduled order. So, all right.